podcast. Today, another live YouTube, currently live on Facebook and YouTube. Okay. All right. Let's get right into it. Let's start with the basketball real quick. A lot of news going on in the basketball. Latest news, assistant coach Kirk Speraw has decided to retire as effective June 13th. Assistant coach at Iowa for the last 12 years. I don't know how many of you remember or are old enough to remember that he played basketball under Lute Olson for Iowa back in Lute Olson's day and was a grad assistant on the 1980 Final Four team. Um, this guy has been around. He's, his primary job was to coach the outside shooters. So yeah, I guess after 43 years in the coaching, it's time for him to leave. I did not realize he'd been coaching for 43 years, which if you do that math, that probably puts him as a grad assistant at Iowa back in 79. Um, so that's crazy, guys. Very, very crazy. So Iowa now has to replace a second assistant coach. This unbreakable staff for the last 12 years has now lost two assistants this year, promoted another person within for assistant. So it'll be interesting to see where Coach Fran goes for that spot to um, fill that spot left by Kirk Speraw. But yeah, wish him the best of luck. Retiring after 43 years. I retired 3 years ago after 45 years in the grocery business, but I started at the age of 16. So I know how much fun he can have and enjoy his family and his wife and everything and his grandkids, and he'll have a lot of fun. Okay, let's get to the other basketball news I wanted to talk about today. Chris Murray getting invited to the combine yesterday and turning it down. All reports are that he turned down the combine invite. Okay, so that makes you think that he's leaning toward coming back to Iowa. I mean, he told everybody he was coming back to Iowa when he first announced his NBA because he retained his eligibility and wanted to come back and wanted to do big things next year. But he wanted to get evaluated and see what he could do to areas he could improve on. And so by all accounts, according to his father, through articles that I've read, Kenyon, he will take that decision up till June 1st. He's not necessarily guaranteed to come back to Iowa, but he probably will. Um, I'm putting it on the radar 100% he comes back. Here's some interesting thoughts I was reading about Chris, and I think some of you guys may have also read the same thoughts I did from other people's articles. I don't remember which article this came from, but one of the things about Chris that said that he was a great shooter early on in the game, but after he got a little fatigued and tired, his shot was missing way bad. And so that's something probably he needs to work on is his stamina. And for everybody screaming last year why Chris didn't get more playing time like he deserved it, like he was the second best on the team. Maybe that's why. Maybe he just wasn't as effective if he stayed on the floor too long. So Kirk put him out there for short periods of time. I don't know what the reasoning is. But another big thing is if you remember early in the season that Chris was out with non-COVID illness, it turned out that he, according to his dad, he had walking pneumonia and lost 10, 15 pounds, and he never was able to regain that during the season. So he was never quite the same player he could have been if he hadn't got sick and lost all those weight. So I know that I was part of the group that said, we need to play him more. I mean, he won't make as many mistakes. He won't get as tired if we get him on the floor and just slowly build up his minutes. But you guys saw what he's totally capable of doing if he gets the minutes. And I don't know if we can put Keegan type numbers on him and put that kind of pressure on him for the next year. But but he will be key to our team in the fall coming back. We need him. We still haven't got a big man out of the portal yet. So um that will be key because I think um Chris wants Coach Fran to come up with a big man. As you guys know that Chris and Keegan both at times had to play the five a little bit during the season, or maybe not a true five spot. Maybe they were playing, a three guard, two forward offense during that time. But they a lot of times they acted like the five. I don't think Chris wants to play the five. He wants somebody to get recruited out of the transfer portal to play the five because they're saying that Chris Murray's natural position, according to the NBA, is the three spot. Um, I think that three spot is currently held down by Patrick McCaffrey. So I don't know if that means Patrick moves to the four and Chris takes the three, or vice versa, that Chris will actually be the four. But it'll be criminal to keep Chris out of the starting lineup next year. So we have three big guys. Josh Ogleby. I can't even say his name right. Sorry, guys. Even when I can say it without going on air, then I come on air and I can't even say it. Is back. Okay, guys. We've seen flashes of what he could do, especially at the end of the season in the Purdue game. We saw flashes of what this guy's capable of doing if he could just do it consistently and give Iowa, 15 to 20 minutes a game instead of the 3 or 4 that he's currently giving Iowa. He just needs to. Hopefully, he's going to get in the weight room, work on his weight, get some weight off of his body, work on his stamina, work on some things, work on that shot. He always a poor for free throw shooter. I always hated it when he went to the free throw line because you knew he was going to miss. You just knew it. And I don't know what his free throw percentage ended up being, but it couldn't be very good. So Josh Ogleby, he needs to work on that. So I don't think we can depend on him for being a full-time player or a full-time regular. I think we'll see more spot duty this year against him. Philip Rabacha will probably be our starting five if we don't find somebody better in the transfer portal. So he's going to be it. And then Riley McCovey, is that how you say that? He's our other guy. He's got to put some weight on, guys. Remember, this is supposed to be his first year in the program. It's now his second year. I don't know what we're going to expect with him. I really don't. He looks awful skinny to me, young as he is young. I mean, this is supposed to be his first year, and he's now in his second year. So I don't know. I just don't know where we're going to go with the 5 spot right now. If we don't find somebody good in the transfer portal, all the ones that we're targeting are gone. I don't know how many good ones are left out there, but I don't think there's a whole lot left. Okay. So anyway, as we started out talking about a little bit about Chris, yeah. So maybe his decision to come back is on whether or not Frank can secure another 5 before June 1st. We don't know. I mean, it's clear that we're not going to be able to depend on Josh Ogleby for more than spot duty next year, just like this year. Unless he makes a miraculous comeback over the summer and just does wonders and work out and maybe finds a private coach or something. I don't know. He's just not the person I thought he was going to be. And I realize he got a late start, but this is his 3rd year in the program. And so there's, as far as I'm concerned, this is no more excuses for him. He needs to get the work ethic down. He needs to see what his predecessors and Luke and Keegan did ahead of him, the work effort that they put in, the work effort, and go out and work on it. So if by chance, Josh, you're listening to this, get to work, get in the gym, get in the weight room, and get on a diet. Okay. So that being said, that's my basketball news. We do have a new football recruit for 2024. Preston Reyes. He's 6'2", 205 out of Monticello. He is the 4th commit for the 2024 class that is currently ranked number 2, but I mean, not everybody's got 2024. That's just a temporary, guys. That's just temporary. Between the 2023 class and the 2024 class, there's only one person with more than 3 stars, and that guy is let me look at it real quick. Guy is Cody Fox. He's got 4 stars. He's 6'4", offensive line, 265 pounds. He's out of the 2024 class, and he's got 4 stars. So, and he's also ranked number 1 in the state of Iowa. Speaking of which, the 4 people that are committed to the 2024 class of for Iowa are all Iowa products, all homegrown. I believe we got a couple athletes, which they terminology, they need to find a position for them and develop them, but could be special teams like gunners and stuff like that. Um, and a lot offensive lineman and a linebacker. Okay, for the 2024 class. Remember, these guys are going into their junior years, guys. So not gonna see these guys for a while, but we have the number 1, 2, 3, and 5th ranked persons out of the state of Iowa. I forget who number 4 is, but somebody said number 4 is leaning toward Iowa as well. So that's good news. Um, so that they had good there. Iowa's got a couple of people visiting this weekend for the 2023 class out of Detroit, Michigan. I had their names right in front of me, but um, so they look like one is very warm toward Iowa, and the other one has 2 crystal balls for Iowa. I believe the Merriweather kid has 2 crystal balls to Iowa, and I do not know if he's related to the current Merriweather on the Iowa football team or not. Everything I read, I would have thought that if he was, somebody would have said some. It would have showed up in an article that he was related. The other guy's name, oh shoot. Um, I think both of these guys are linebackers. And so if and I think they're both 3 stars coming out of Detroit. So speculation is that things go well on the recruiting trip this weekend. To be watching the commit factor because these both might commit right now to Iowa this weekend. They could. Iowa has currently 7 recruits for the 2023 class, which has a composite ranking of number 15 currently. But you guys know that changes as things go on. Iowa's always done a great job with early recruiting, except for last year. People were really worried, but boy, Iowa came on strong at the end in February. So I think their composite was like number 25, something like that, or at least in the top 20 somewhere for recruiting. I think Iowa's doing some of its best recruiting right now. Unfortunately, they're young, and so I don't know if that's gonna. Oh well, I'm just gonna say it. If we don't get better quarterback play and better offensive line play, Iowa's not gonna go anywhere for the playoffs, and you know, this year. Um, if but anyway, we'll wait and see. That's like 12, 16 weeks away before our first game. Okay. All right. So that's where we're at with that. I just want to hit quickly how the baseball team is really doing really well right now. They're 12-6 in the Big Ten Conference. Um, they have won 6 out of their last 7 weekend series. They've got Michigan State this weekend, which I think they can win that series too. Michigan State's only 21-24 and 6-12 overall. I mean 6-12 in the Big Ten Conference. So to me, just judging by the record, that's a very winnable. And then in midweek, they go to Illinois, Chicago, and play a game there. They should come home with a victory there. and then they finish up their regular season with a 3-game stance against Indiana. Again, this should be a team where we should be able to get at least a series out of it. They're 22-26 overall, 8-10 in the Big Ten. Um, so I said at the beginning, Iowa should be in great position for the Big Ten tournament if they could win all their series. They're winning the series, 6 out of their last 7 they've won. And it looks to me like they can win the next 2 series with at least. So we'll see where that goes. I don't know where that's going to take them for. I'm not in know for the regional World Series or the Super, whatever they call regionals and stuff like that. And know enough to know how they're sitting for that, but they should be sitting pretty good for the Big Ten tournament. But I don't know as far as the World Series part goes, or the College World Series, how they will set for the national playoffs on that. What did I say? Their win total was 28-16. Um, if they can, see, they've got 7 games left. It'd be nice if they won all 7 games, 35. That would put them at 35-16. That should be pretty decent, I would think. But I don't know. I'm not following it close enough to know what's going on. I'm really following Major League Baseball right now. Following the Los Angeles Angels. I was going to say California, but they've gone California, Anaheim, and now Los Angeles Angels, who are currently in first place, guys. It's been a while since we've been in first place. I know it's a long season and a lot of things can happen, and I believe Houston's only a half game behind us because Houston's playing pretty good darn ball right now too. So a lot can happen in a long season in baseball, but right now the Angels are playing with confidence. They're playing very well, and but this is a Hawkeye broadcast. But anyway, that's where my baseball knowledge lies. More major league right now than college. Okay, so that being said, I'm going to wrap up my baseball talk. I'm going to just say softball had a disappointing season at 21 and 31 overall, 3-20 in conference. Their season is over. No Big Ten tournament, it looks like, and of course, no invite to any of the softball World Series or whatever they call it for the national playoffs for them. I'm a little disappointed because I thought Iowa softball was a little bit better than that, and so I'm not sure. I know they lost they lost in the transfer portal. They lost a very good player, Lauren Shaw, and a great pitcher who's now at UCLA doing things there. Um, I don't know if that hurt having her out of the pitching rotation. I'm not sure, but we'll see. But their season is over, so that being said, I think, guys, this is going to be a shorter than normal podcast. I want to apologize for not doing one last week. I wanted to do one on the draft. I wanted to do that kind of a draft wrap up, but everybody was doing those. And honestly, guys, I just kind of want to, just, I don't know. I wanted to do one, but I just thought everybody was doing one. I didn't want to be redundant in my draft pick. Maybe you guys are interested. If you still are, let me know in the comments, and I will do one for the draft coming up. What I want to do is I want to start previewing, and I think I will do it next week. I want to start previewing one team in depth each week that we're going to play and try to do them in order. South Dakota State's our first team up, and so I won't do it this week because I want to have some good stats on South Dakota State, but everybody knows their reputation. Um, they're a very good FCS team. Um, they made it to the semifinals last year. They're consistently beating North Dakota State, which is probably considered the Alabama of their division, and so yeah, they're a very good team and very capable of beating Iowa. And so what I want to do is I want to go into detail and next week, and with South Dakota State, we'll do that. We'll start with them and why Iowa should not overlook them because they should not. Um, and I was at the North Dakota State game in the stands when they beat Iowa. Um, how many years ago was that now? 4 or 5? um, and so it can be done. If Iowa doesn't do anything, can be done. I do know that a decent passing game can beat Iowa if you're patient enough and don't get too cocky against Iowa. And that's what North Dakota State did. They were just very patient, and I think South Dakota State can do that too. So, but let me talk about that next week, guys. And I'll just wrap up this short video today, just by asking you guys to hit the subscribe button or the follow button. I appreciate it. We're slowly gaining followers, and I appreciate that. Share this video with your Hawkeye friends, even your Husker and your Cyclone friends. They probably get a kick out of me. And two, feel free to comment. Share this to other Facebook pages if you want to. I don't care. I mean, just share and just follow and like. And on the Iowa Hawkeye Sports Facebook page, we're just very short numbers. Um, let's share that page with your friends. Let's get over 3,000. We're at 2.9K right now. We are a little short on getting there. I thought we'd be there this last week. We weren't. Um, Requests to join the group and people joining has slowed way down, and I want to get that picked back up again. So please share that Iowa Hawkeye Sports page with your friends and your family and everybody you know. And we must be doing something right because we gained an awful lot of followers in a short time. So if you like what we're doing, if you like our videos, and so keep that up. Okay. Right now, I'm out of here and enjoy the rest of your Wednesday.